So as you take a seat, lay it down, let your knees remain bent, shoulders opening up through the chest, hands come out to our sides, palms towards the ceiling. We're going to start today with a nice, simple breath. We call it a belly breath. If you'd like, you could even place your hands at your belly. Take a big inhale through the nose, feel that belly rise towards the ceiling. And as we exhale, feel the belly melt back down towards the spine. We'll continue that breath for just a few more moments, allowing ourselves the space to relax, taking a moment to reflect on our day, perhaps even doing a little body scan, taking note of how our head feels, our nose, our throat, the shoulders, the back, and noticing how our belly feels, how our pelvis and hips feel, down to our quads and our knees, acknowledging the calf muscles, our ankles, and our feet. And as we scan the body, let's just be mindful of any area that needs some extra love today, perhaps some extra care. Notice that and keep it in mind as we move through our practice. One more deep belly breath. Fill the belly up with air and then exhale, press it all out through the mouth. From there, we'll slide our hands up to our rib cage, moving into a rib cage breath. This is meant to be an energizing breath. So as we inhale, feel your ribs press out into your palms. And as we exhale, feel the ribs pull back in towards the spine. The core gets really strong as we do that. We'll continue that breath throughout class today. So a few more opportunities to practice the rib cage breath. Shoulders are relaxed down and away from the ears. Big expansive movement through the ribs. Exhale all the way and release. Final time. And relax. Good. We're keeping that breath going, but go ahead, just wiggle through the fingers and toes. Take a moment to roll out through your wrists and through the ankles. We'll just find some simple movement through those arms and legs, starting to wake the body up. From there, we'll take a big inhale, reach the arms overhead. Exhale, bring those hands back down towards your sides. We start with rib cage arms today, just mobilizing our shoulders, syncing up our movement with that rib cage breath that we were just practicing. Beautiful. One more time. Inhale the arms overhead. As we exhale, gently pull that right knee into the chest. We'll go ahead and alternate. This time the left leg comes into the belly and switch. Go ahead, continue alternating. Notice how this feels on the low back, on the hip area. We find that big expansion from one end of the room to the other. And find a little stretch in the middle. One more on each leg. As that left leg comes into the chest, take some time to pull both knees in, and we'll gently rock ourselves from side to side. So feel that little micro massage at the low back. From here, we'll plant our feet down towards the mat, working through a little rotation. The arms come out nice and wide. We'll drop our knees over to the left side of the body and then bring it over to the right. Beautiful. You can let those feet come up off the mat if that's comfortable for you. I don't want us to be too strict in how we move today. I just want you to find what works for you. Our bodies are very unique, so what you may see on the screen on me may look and feel a little bit different for you. We'll set some standards for ourselves and some goals, but remember, we may not achieve those in our very first practice back. It's our first day back into our regular routine after a couple of weeks off in the interim schedule. So this is an opportunity to extend ourselves some grace. All right, last time, take those legs over to the right. As we stack them up towards the ceiling, hands come over the chest. We'll nod our head forward, lift the head and shoulder blades off the mat. How's that feel for the core? Good, we're starting to really warm up. Release, hand back down and lift up. Hello, we're gonna do that one more time. Beautiful, lift the head and shoulders from here, moving right into our hundreds. Pump those arms, big, strong, vigorous pumps with the arms. Start to sync up your breath with the arms. We inhale for a count of 5 and exhale for a count of 5. Inhale 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale 2, 3, 4, 5. Very good. Now, if you've been practicing on your own at home or you've continued your movement, which I hope you all have, if not, that's okay. I took a big break this last couple of weeks, but you've got really some options here. We can keep our feet planted on the ground or stack the knees right over the hips. Another one of my favorite options is sending the toes all the way out to 45 degrees, really challenging our stability and core strength. So find what's going to work for you. You've got 3 more rounds of hundreds. Inhale 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale 2, 3, 4, 5. One more time. And release. The knees fall into the chest. We'll rock ourselves from side to side once again. Moving right into our roll-ups. The feet press all the way across the mat. Hands inhale all the way overhead. Exhale, nod the chin forward. Peel your spine off the mat, one vertebra at a time. Roll over, reach for those toes, and bring it back down, bone by bone by bone. Inhale. Exhale, roll up. Round over those thighs, feel the stretch through the hamstrings, and keep your focus on spinal mobility, spinal articulation. Some really fun options here. Use those elbows or the hands to lift yourselves up. You may see me doing that a lot this summer as this belly of mine gets a little bit bigger. Or bringing the knee into the chest. This is, I think I've told you guys a million times before if you've been with me. I love this option. It really helps us mobilize, but also stimulates core strength. And it keeps with our spinal rotation or spinal articulation. So we'll do that one more time, rolling all the way up. And then take it down bone by bone by bone. Hands come down by our sides. Float the right foot towards the ceiling about 45 degrees. And we move into a nice, simple leg circle. Tracing our big toe around the outside of a small dinner plate. We'll do 3, 2, and 1. Reverse the direction of those leg circles. Take it out, shoulders pressing into the mat, that left heel driving down into the floor. We've got 2 and 1. The right knee cools into the chest, roll out through that ankle. As we send the right foot back up towards the ceiling, we're going to take it directly over our hip. So all the way up. Option, keep a slight bend in the knee, but we're going for some much larger circles here. So think about a beach ball. And we're going to trace our heel around the outside of that imaginary beach ball. 2 more in this direction. And 1. Reverse it. 4 in the opposite direction. Take it around and up. Final 2. And 1. Release. The knee bends and pulls into the chest. Slide that right leg outside of the body. Notice how that feels on the inner thighs. Big inhale through the nose. Exhale, release. The right knee comes all the way across the chest. We'll look in the opposite direction for a little rotation here. Another big inhale as we exhale. Leg, hips, all come down to the mat. We do the same thing on the other side. Left leg floats up to 45 degrees. Start with your small dinner plate size circles. They're controlled. Belly is strong. We'll do 3, 2, 1, and reverse it, opposite direction. Take that leg around and out. Spine is long, right heel presses into the floor. 2 and 1. Bring that knee to the chest. Roll out through the ankle. Knowing that we're headed into those big, large circles, flex the foot, reach the foot to the ceiling, slight bend in the knee if that's comfortable for you. We bring the leg around that imaginary beach ball, around and up, 4 in each direction. Good, 1 more here. And reverse it, take it out, around and up, out, around and up. 2 and 1. Beautiful. That left knee comes into the chest. From here, slide the leg outside of the body. Keep that rib cage breath. Inhale through the nose, exhaling through the mouth. We'll take the leg all the way across the body, looking in the opposite direction here. And back to center we go. Good, with that left knee in at our chest, hands come to our shin bone. We're headed into our Pilates 5 ab series. We'll nod the head and shoulder blades off of the mat, hover the right foot above the floor. It's our single bent leg stretch. So 1 knee in, extend and switch. Hands come back to that shin bone. Beautiful. Let's do it again slow. Left leg in, right leg out. Switch. Right leg in, left leg out. Beautiful. Can you speed it up? Extend and switch. Some options for us here could be tapping those toes towards the floor, keeping the knees bent. Our elbows are strong. Chest is open and wide. We'll do 3, 2, 1 more on each side. Both knees come into the chest. Hug them in tight. Big inhale. Reach hands and feet out in opposition. Sweep the arms around, hug the knees tight, double leg stretch. We take it out, sweep it around, and control. Good. 3 more. 2, and 1 more time. Send it out. Pull it in. Both toes reach to the ceiling. We'll take our hand to our calf muscle, lower one leg, big stretch on that one leg that's close to you, right? And switch. Good, we're starting nice and slow. We call this single straight leg stretch, or my favorite way to call it is scissors. We're gonna scissor those legs from one to the other. Good, a little faster, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Both feet come back together. Hands behind the base of our skull, elbows wide for leg lower, and lift. Lower, lower. And up, we'll do 4, 3, 2, and 1. Stack those knees, one on top of, knees over hips, 90-degree angle for toe taps. Right leg lowers, left leg lowers. Good. Notice how I'm keeping that 90-degree angle at my knee. The goal here is to actively hinge from the hip, extend those toes out, and challenge the core. 1 more on each side. And release. Hug those knees into the chest. Rock it from side to side. You made it through your Pilates 5 ab series. First one back in a few weeks. Roll yourselves up. Come into a seated position, hands behind us. We lift the hips and find a nice long L sit. Legs out in front of us. Roll the shoulders back and down. Float the arms forward. Spine stretch forward. We roll the forehead down towards our knees. And then stack it back up, bone by bone by bone. Here we're, once again, focusing on that spinal articulation. As we roll forward, the shoulders are going to round forward with us. We pull and then press the spine back up, as if we were rolling up and connecting with the back of a wall. You could actually do this up against a wall. I'll show you guys just for fun. So it gives you a little bit of feedback when you've got something behind you. So start from the top of the head, roll down bone by bone by bone, forehead towards the knees, and then we press back up, low back, mid back, top of the back, and then the head. Yeah. So you could try that on your own if you'd like. We'll do one more all together. Very good. Shake it out. Roll out the shoulders. Moving into saw. So doing the exact same thing, keeping that spinal articulation. We're just adding rotation. Hands come out nice and wide. Our feet are about hip distance apart. We'll rotate towards one side of the room. Roll down. Take your pinky towards that pinky toe. Lift back up one vertebra at a time. Rotate other side. Roll down. Reach for the toe. Come back up. Good. Rotate. Roll down with spinal articulation and try your very best to let this flow. Good. Sits bones are glued to the floor. That's those bottoms. We may feel a tendency for one of our hips to lift up. Try not to let it. Last one here. Up and over. We release. Hands come down. We're going to take ourselves feet together. Elbows come down. I always like this one because it's a nice chest opener. Elbows behind us, right under our shoulders, hands by our sides. Oh, just extending our heart towards the ceiling, opening up through the chest. Find that rib cage breath, settle in. Notice how this feels on the shoulders. If it's strenuous, we don't have to do it, but it is a good way to open up through the chest after being at a computer all day or in a lab all day or looking down at books, anything that we may be doing throughout the day. Big inhale and exhale. Let's slowly lift ourselves up. Fantastic. All right, we're coming up and over onto our sides into our side lying work. So we'll align our spine, so top of the head down to our hips with the very back edge of our mat. Feet come forward towards the front corner of our mat. Hips, knees, ankles are all stacked. One hand here in front of us. Top leg lifts and lowers. Belly is strong. Core is engaged. Good. We're just starting with a simple leg lift. It's coming about as high as the top of our hip bone. And I want us to think about being able to slide an imaginary piece of paper between our rib cage and the floor. You can even take these fingers and try to slide them between the rib cage and the floor. That idea helps us engage through the belly. 3, 2, and 1. Hold that leg lifted, pulse it towards the ceiling. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Point the toe. We're going to circle that leg forward, making those small dinner plate size circles once again. Brushing the inner thighs together with every circle. 2 and 1. Let's reverse it. Take the leg in the opposite direction. Press that bottom ankle towards the mat. 2 and 1. Hold the top leg lifted. Flex the foot, hinge the hip forward. We kick forward, kick back. Kick forward slow. Take the leg back slow. Activate through the glute. Good. Press forward. Press back one more time slow. Good. Now can we speed that up? Use this top arm to help you stabilize. Kick forward, kick back. Kick forward, kick back. Last time. Hold the leg back behind you. Lower it down. Reach your top arm overhead. Good, big stretch there. All right. Hand comes back around, right in front of the belly. Lift that rib cage up once again. Belly is strong. Top leg lifts and lowers. If you're starting to feel it, I'm with you. We've got 4, 3, 2, and 1. Bend the knee, bring it forward, and shake it out. Good, get a little myofascial release there. From here, top knee is gonna be lifted off of the mat. It's in line with our top hip. Reason being, as soon as you drop this knee down, like you see here, our spinal alignment gets into rotation, and we don't want that. So lift the knee up, keep your hips stacked one on top of the other. We're moving to the bottom leg, lifting it up and lowering it down. Good, continue. Is that rib cage lifted off the mat? Can you still thread that piece of paper? It's imaginary, of course, between the floor and your ribs. Good, back to that simple lift and lower. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Hold the bottom leg lifted, pulse it towards the ceiling, up 1 inch, down 1 inch. 4, 3, 2, 1. Point the toe and circle forward. And reverse it. Opposite direction. 3, 2, 1. Hold that leg lifted. Slide it back towards the back edge of your mat. That leg is now in line with the rest of your body. Lift and lower. Good. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Fantastic. Both legs reach back out on top of one another. We're going to lift up onto that elbow. It comes right under our hips, and we're going to find a side plank. So feet can stagger. We lift the hips up. You could also bend the bottom knee and come into this side plank. Sorry, I'll adjust my shirt so you guys can maybe see me in this side plank a little bit better. Again, shoulders stacked right over the ankle. Hips are lifted. Core is strong and engaged. Eye gaze looking forward. And don't forget, your head is attached to your spine. So if you're dropping your head down, you're out of spinal alignment. If we're up like this, we're out of spinal alignment. So get into that neutral position. Hold it steady. Good. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Hips come down. Bend the knees. Heels together. Open up for clamshells. Yes, a little bit of active external rotation at those hips. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Hold it lifted. From here, the feet lift. Take the knees together. Lift up. Good. So we're just keeping those heels together. The challenge here is that both feet are lifted off the ground. Core is going to engage a little bit more. 3, 2, and 1. Now hold that diamond shape. Drop your bottom foot and lift it up. So now we've just engaged internal rotation at the bottom hip. 2, and 1. Feet together, knees down, release. Good. As we press up, find your hands at those shin bones. Slide the opposite arm overhead for a side body stretch. Big inhale through the nose. Exhale, release. Fantastic. All right, guess what? That was one side. We get to do it all over again on the other side. So sweep those legs around. We're going to look or bring our head to the opposite end of our mat. See if a little water helps. All right, so once again, we align our spine, so top of the head to the hips with the very back edge of our mat. Our feet come forward towards the front edge of the mat. Rib cage is lifted, shoulders and hips are stacked, top leg lifts and lowers. Good. Actively press your bottom ankle into the floor. Good. Keep that stability. Check in with your imaginary piece of paper. Could it thread between your rib cage and the floor below? Good. 3, 2, 1, hold that leg lifted, pulse it towards the ceiling. Our eye gaze is looking straight forward. We've got 4, 3, 2, 1. Point the top toe and brush those inner thighs together for your dinner plate size circles. We circle forward. 3, 2, 1. Come up to the top and reverse it. Good. Quick, brisk movements here. Rib cage is still lifted. 3, 2, 1. Hold the top leg lifted. Flex the bottom foot. Gently kick forward. Hinge at the hip. Point the toe. Kick back. Feel your glute engage. Good. A few more times slow. We kick forward and kick back. Kick forward. Kick back. Last time slow. Now add some speed. Kick forward, kick back. 3, 2, and 1. Hold the leg back behind you. It's in line with our body. Drop it down. Lift it up. Down. Up. Good. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Bend the knee. Slide the leg all the way forward and enjoy that myofascial release. Good. All right, just as before, this top knee is going to stay lifted. Remember the reason why. As soon as we drop it down, our spine goes into rotation, which we don't want. Hips are stacked. Knee is lifted. Bottom leg starts to lift and lower. Keep your eye gaze looking forward. I know it's easy to start looking at our foot, but I just want you to keep your spinal alignment and breathe. How's that rib cage doing? Is our belly still strong? Good. 4, 3, 2, 1. Top leg is lifted. Bottom leg lifted. Pulsing towards the ceiling. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Point the toe and circle forward. Keep your breath. 4, 3, 2, 1, and reverse it. 4, 3, 2, 1. That top leg lifts and pulls all the way to that back edge of the mat. Good. From there, we lift and lower. Keep the rib cage lifted. 4, 3, 2, 1, and release. Good. Stack the feet one on top of the other. Once again, find yourselves on that elbow. Shoulders right over the elbow. We can take our staggered stance and lift up into our side plank, or option, bend the bottom knee and lift into the side plank. Good. From here, belly is strong. Spine is in neutral. We're breathing steady. You're almost there. Stay lifted. Stay in control. You got 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Hips come down. Bend the knees. Bring them in. Heels together. Open up into external rotation at the hip. Bring it back down. Good. Yeah, if we think of these as those clamshells, that's also an easy way to remember the movement. So I will typically teach a lot of internal and external hip mobility because it's so important to keep those small pelvic floor and hip muscles healthy as we age. One more time, keep the diamond shape. Lift the feet up, down, and up. Good. A little bit of a challenge to keep those feet lifted. 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold it lifted. Bottom leg drops down. There's your internal rotation of the hip on that bottom leg. 4, 3, 2, and 1. We lift. Bring the knees together. Feet come down. Lift ourselves up. Hands at the shins, opposite arm, up and over, into our side body stretch. Big inhale through the nose and exhale, release. Good. All right, both hands are going to come up and over as we find ourselves in a quadruped position. So hands right under the shoulders, knees under the hips, toes are tucked under. Send your hips back towards those heels. Press forward, shifting the shoulders over the fingertips. Good. You'll feel a little stretch through your wrists. If that's painful or uncomfortable, you don't have to go that far. Just wanting to work through a little bit of mobility here today. 2 more. Good. And last time, holding it here. We'll round the spine up. Bring the shoulder blades away from one another. Drop the belly through and let your eye gaze look out toward the baseboards in front of you. Big inhale and exhale. One more time. Inhale, drop the belly. Exhale, round it out. From here, we'll find a neutral spine. Toes are still tucked under. We're gonna lift and hover the knees above the mat. A little core challenge for us, yes. And release. Let's see if we can hold those knees lifted for, let's go for 10 seconds. Ready? Up, lift, press the floor away. Stay lifted, stay lifted. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and drop. Let's do that one more time. This time we're gonna go for 12 seconds. Ready? Go. Lift, hover, press the floor away. Keep it lifted. There you go. You've got 5 seconds. 4, 3, 2, 1. Knees come down, toes together. Gently press yourselves back. Round through the spine. Roll out through the wrists if you need to. Wiggle those fingers. From here we come up and find our favorite push-up position. So that can be from quadruped. We could walk our hands forward, dropping the hips low, or it could be from a full push-up position. We're doing tricep push-ups today. So hands are right under the shoulders, elbows stay next to our rib cage. We've got 6 of them. So I'll let you take them at your own pace. We come down and press up, lower and lift. We can take these slow. We can take them fast. But as soon as you're done with your 6 push-ups, we'll just press back into a rest pose again. Knees apart, toes together, and relax. Once again, maybe rolling out through those wrists, wiggling those fingers, and release. Good. Now from here, we come back up, lowering all the way down to our bellies. While I still can, we'll do our back extension exercises. Tops of the feet connected with the mat. Eye gaze is down. Inhale, lift the chest up, and exhale. So as we progress throughout the summer, I probably will start to do some more quadruped work, but I know that can be really heavy on our wrists. So just know anytime you do some back extension work throughout the summer, you can always come down to the belly and do this, just lifting the chest up, keeping our eye gaze down to the mat. And you can always reference our YouTube channel and watch previous exercises where this is done. We'll do 3, 2, and 1. Lifting up. As we lower down, hands come right under the shoulders, elbows press towards the ceiling like grasshopper wings. Put all of your weight and energy into those arms. Press your chest and belly up. Lower down. Inhaling, we lift. exhale, lower. 2 more. Fantastic. Coming back down, we're gonna press back final time into our rest pose. We'll take a big inhale, exhale, roll the spine up. From here, we'll bring our legs around and move through our final mobility. So we'll start with the right knee in at the chest, lower down towards the mat. With that right knee at the belly, go ahead and roll out through the right ankle. Reverse the direction when you're ready. And then we'll send the right foot towards the ceiling. From here, we're going to point and flex through the foot and then bend the knee. Our hands stay here at the back of our hamstring, up to the top, flex the foot, point the toe, come down. Let's do 3. Excuse me. 2. And one more time. Up and down. That knee comes into the chest. We'll bring it all the way across the body for that spinal rotation once again. From there, our hips come back down towards the mat. Right ankle over the left knee for our figure 4 stretch. Option to fold the knees in a little bit closer to the belly. You can maybe find a deeper stretch through that hip and piriformis when we do this, but it's completely optional. Another big rib cage breath. As we exhale, send that right leg all the way out. Here we've got the left knee in at the belly. Rolling out through the ankle and then reverse that direction. With our hands at that hamstring, we'll take the left leg up towards the ceiling. Flex through that foot, point, and bend the knee. Good. Up and flex. Point and come down. Good. We call this a nerve floss. It's really good for our hips, for that hamstring. Can help with some sciatic nerve support. So just know it's a really great stretch that you can incorporate into your regular life. One more time, lift up, flex the foot, point the toe, and come down. From there, the knee falls across the body. We'll once again look in the opposite direction for our spinal rotation. From there, our hips come back down towards the mat. Left ankle crosses over our right knee. Stay here for a brief moment, or if you'd like, know that you can fold those knees into the chest, sinking into perhaps a deeper stretch for that hip and piriformis area. Another big inhale through the nose. As we exhale, both knees will melt down and towards the chest. Take a moment to rock from side to side once again. And then we'll slowly roll the spine up one vertebra at a time. Lifting up into a seated position, get your bearings. Find whatever comfortable seated position there is available to you. If that's returning to your chair, feel free to do so. You're going to roll the shoulders back. And roll the shoulders forward. Take a big inhale, sweep the arms overhead, and exhale, release. One more time, breathe in and exhale. Fantastic job today, you all. I hope you enjoyed our first class back. Again, my name is Kourtney Bassett. I'm the program manager with Living Well, and I'll be here every Wednesday throughout the summer from 11:45 to 12:30. It's our time to move together, to take some time away from the office and any tasks at hand to take care of ourselves. So I hope to see you next week. Invite your friends, share the Zoom link and information with those that you think would benefit or be able to join. Have a great week, and I'll see you all next week. Take care.